The Pop Culture Master Race.
Does mother know you wear it for grace?
All your pop culture needs. And here are your hosts, Aiden Munga and Brett Page.
Welcome back to the PCMR podcast, the Pop Culture Master Race, where we talk about movies, comic books, TV shows, music. This week, it is a nerdy news week.
Yeah, woo.
Yeah, woo. We're going to be telling you stuff about Spider-Man, what's going on with Fox and Marvel, some Star Wars news.
I have to say, I'm looking at this run sheet we have now. We have a very superhero light episode today.
It is
Compared to our
pretty
usual
light, yeah.
episodes, so I'm quite proud of us.
Oh, as always, you are joined by your two co-hosts, me, Aiden, and of course, Brett.
Hello.
That's the other voice you're hearing. So yeah, we're just gonna dive straight into it. Unless you want to do a little chat, see how each other are going.
See, let's do this. I want to tell the listeners how cursed this episode is. This is just what I'm going to call it, the cursed episode. So, 6 p.m. yesterday, our usual record day. I'd been busy all day, flat out. I thought, shit, today's record day. Better message Aiden, see when we're doing that. Aiden, he's forgotten too, being busy as well. So,
I've been editing all day, just like, and then
so we've both been super busy.
So now we're recording this a bit late, but you're still gonna get it at the same time. So it's nothing you to worry about. It's just a little.
It's just
BTS, a bit behind the scenes.
our scheduling difficulties because we just both blanked, and when that happens, another thing happens, and another thing happens. So,
So we're finally ready to get into this. So let's, Brett, why don't you kick us off? Let's get into the first story. So, what's going on out there?
We've seen some set photos of Tom Holland on the set of Spider-Man Homecoming.
Ooh.
Basically, what this is confirmed is that the suit, his Spider-Man suit, very CGI heavy. Because if you really look at it, the mask, it looks very loose-fitting. There's a lot of the patterns that aren't on it, which are obviously done with CGI. So that was my fault when I saw the photos. What did you think?
I think, it looks pretty good. It looks how it looked in the Civil War film. I think what they're going for, which is the same thing they did with Black Panther's suit in Civil War, where it's like they've got a physical suit, so there's something on, that the actors can wear, and it's like it looks pretty much like it, but they're gonna like kind of slim it down and kind of smooth out a bit of the edges with some CGI, just to kind of enhance it, make it pop a bit better on screen.
Yeah, definitely. Nothing wrong with that, though. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. It looks good.
No, and the mask he's wearing, I think, it's a mask that he can like take on and off. So like obviously they're going to enhance it a bit with CG so that it's got like the moving eyepieces and stuff, and they're also going to put probably a face shell in there so it has like a more kind of solid shape to it.
Yeah. Well, you wouldn't want him to have the really like skin tight mask on while filming. That'd be
no.
hard to breathe, hard to say his lines.
He's probably got heaps of like different masks and like suits depending on like the situation. And this suit, it's like, it's something that's kind of comfortable that he can wear. It's a Spider-Man suit. It looks how it did in Civil War, but the mask he's wearing, it's very kind of like, it's just one he can pull on and off. But it looks good. I'm glad to see some like set photos. I think there was a story going around about what was going on in this scene. It seems like he's taken a trip to DC, like a school trip, and a cement truck has gone crazy. He's suited up as Spider-Man to go and stop it. So,
I didn't realize there was any talk about what the scene was. So the more you know.
I saw that on Instagram. I was like browsing through, trying to like.
Yeah. There's also been lots of casting things coming out about Spider-Man.
So much. Everyone is in this movie. Everyone.
Yeah, freaking. Oh, you rattle them through. I'm having a blank.
Okay, we've got Abraham Ottawa. He was from Beast of No Nation. He's in this film. Hannibal Buress, bloody Donald Glover, Childish Gambino. There was recently an actress who's won like 6 Emmys. I'm blanking on her name. She's an older woman. She's been cast in this. So many. I can't even.
Remember there was one guy cast, like you and me had a conversation about this on our own. What was his name? It's Michael something. He's in Better Call Saul right now. And there was a huge like discussion or debate about if he's going to be playing the character Carnage, because Better Call Saul as this it's confirmed he was going to be in Spider-Man. They tweeted saying he's great at bringing Carnage to life in our show. And everyone's like, oh my God, he's playing Carnage, confirmed.
I really think that's just like people reading too much into it because
Yeah.
that's the problem with like all these like superhero like news websites is that like whenever anyone tweets something even remotely
Yes.
like, oh, it could be this, like every site will run with the rumor and just like go over it, even though it's like that's not news.
See, the
guys.
thing
It's
I was
just,
saying is, while it would be brilliant to see him Carnage brought to life, the Marvel is a bit too, family friendly for a character that is such a psychopathic serial killer to come to the screen, I think.
I don't know. I don't even know if he could be done justice on screen because it'd be very CGI heavy, and I don't think it would look interesting. Like it might end up like kind of like a liquidy version of how Doomsday look in Batman v Superman, and I don't want it. I don't want that.
Yeah, like maybe
I don't want a liquid cave troll.
Yeah, maybe he could actually like be playing the guy who is Carnage, but not as actual Carnage. That could be it. But like, I feel that if they go with Carnage, they'd be doing the same problem they did in the third Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movie, putting far too much in one movie. Because to put Carnage in the movie, you'd have to put Venom in the movie. That's two things they'd already be squeezing into this movie. So
no, I think this film's going to be very focused. I think Marvel has the majority of the creative control. Sony's kind of like said to them, like, yeah, you know what, you do all the creative stuff. We'll just give you the money and we'll release it and stuff.
Yeah, we'll give you money, then we'll take
five
money.
Times. They're like, no, you do this.
Not all of the last Spider-Mans were terrible.
No, they've not been terrible, but they've all got like problems.
Yeah, they've all got problems.
None of them are quite there.
Yeah, but, definitely. Well, from what we saw of Tom Holland as Spider-Man in Civil War, it seems like this adaptation will be probably one of the best we've seen.
Hopefully, it's got high hopes resting on it. So, good luck to the cast and crew. Hopefully they deliver and people enjoy it. All right, we're moving on. Kingsman.
Yes,
the sequel to that. I think it's the Golden Circle, something like that.
Yes, the Golden something.
Yeah, they've cast Vinnie Jones in a role that I don't know because it's not on the run sheet.
So yeah, they haven't announced what the role is. And Vinnie Jones, in case you all don't know, he used to be a professional soccer player until he started doing movies. He's been in
That's how you get your British tough guys. Like Jason Statham used to be a diver, didn't he?
Yeah, they all used to be sportsmen. Yeah, what was Vinnie Jones? He was in Lock, Stock, and Free Smoking Barrels. He was in
Two Smoking.
Yeah, I was close. And
one off.
And he was the infamous Juggernaut in the X-Men: The Last Stand.
He was
I'm the Juggernaut, bitch.
The Midnight Meat Train. I think that's what that film's called.
I know. I think he could be really great.
You've seen him before. Like he's in the Arrow.
Yeah, he was in Arrow.
Shows. He plays Brick. I think that's the character's name.
Yeah. So, you've seen him before. Once you see his face, you'll know you've seen him. He's a very, buff British guy. And
buff. He's a British tough guy.
British tough guy.
He's the kind of person who would glass you in a pub.
Yeah.
That's what Vinnie Jones looks like.
So, I don't know. I reckon he's probably a villain. And I reckon him as a villain would suit perfectly into Kingsman.
I don't know. They put Mark Strong in there, and he wasn't a villain. So maybe they're going to do a similar thing with Vinnie Jones, where kind of subvert expectations. Like you don't expect Samuel L. Jackson to be a villain, but they made him one. You expect Mark Strong to be a villain, but they made him just like this really cool tech guy. So who knows?
And you definitely don't expect Colin Firth in a superhero-ish movie.
No. So like Kingsman is subverted everything that I expect from these characters who usually play one thing. Like Vinnie Jones, he's really good at playing British tough guys. But hey, in this, he might be just like a tech wizard, like Mark Strong was. So who knows? You've
got a point there. I definitely think you have a point there, worth considering. But who knows? We know that he's in it. That's all we know at this point in time.
Sounds like good casting to me. I'm excited.
Yeah. So now, we've had a lot of talks in the recent years about all these home entertainment systems that they're trying to sell to rich people. There was one they were talking about, something like a $10,000 box to get new release in cinema movies. Did you hear about that a few months ago?
Yeah, you'd pay $150 to be able to screen it in your home. So
you had to pay $10 for the $10,000 for the box first up, then every movie you wanted. Yeah, and every movie you want to be $150, and then you could. I guess the idea was you get a bunch of people around and you can screen it in your house and you don't have to go to a movie theater.
and maybe you can like get other people to like chip in, like, all right, everyone chip in, and we'll watch it at home. But for that you'd need to have like a really great screen.
Yeah, a lot of friends.
A lot of friends, yeah. So it's not for the average person; it's for the rich person who doesn't want to mingle with the trash people.
Yeah. So now we have like IMAX. IMAX are getting into this game, and they are building and selling home theaters worth $400,000, and the $400,000 ones are the entry levels.
All right, so it's the cheap thing for the everyday consumer.
So I have like a little stat list here.
What makes it worth $400,000?
The entry level $400,000 ones has 18 seats, a screen that is 10 feet tall, a pair of 4K 2D and 3D projectors, and the proprietary IMAX sound system and a multifunctional media playback system. That was a mouthful. And if
do
you
they
want to
build
get
like the room for you to put it in as well, or do you have to
I
provide a room?
think you have to provide the room.
Oh, well, okay.
You provide the room, they build all the rest of the stuff inside it. So that's the entry level one, and the platinum version. Well, I don't have the exact details of everything in it. The platinum version is $1 million and has up to 40 seats.
Well, they're basically just building an IMAX theater. Then
yeah, basically they're building you an IMAX theater in your house. So
that's. Get the fuck out of here with this bullshit.
Considering they're saying 400K is fucking entry level, this is a very niche market.
This for? Is this for like basketballers who don't know how to spend their money? No one's like they've come up in poverty and then all of a sudden they have like $12 million contracts and they're getting $2 million a game. So they're like, oh shit, I have so much money. I'm gonna buy me an IMAX theater.
I think that's who these people are. I think that is the only people buying these. Just like people who have too much money.
Because it's
like
not
that
for
Australian kid from Melbourne who just got a contract with the NBA as #1 draft pick. I think he's getting.
It was like Ben Simons, or is that?
Yeah, he went to school at Box Hill, which is fucking like Box Hill's the suburb I live in.
God damn.
I did not just say where I live on the internet.
Box Hill's a big place, I'm sure. They can't find you.
Am I in Box Hill, north or south? Ooh. No.
It's north, isn't it? Yeah. Who knows? I don't know. I don't remember where you live. I don't think
you haven't been to this place yet. You've been to my
I've
last
never
place,
been.
not this one.
So I can't give out your address on air. Damn it.
Yeah, you can't.
You'd bleep it anyway.
Asshole.
So
nah, I won't bleep it. It's a big suburb.
what? Even if like I knew your address and I said it like exactly on air.
Oh, if you said my exact address, I would. But I'm not going to bleep the suburb. You can't.
So if I
me.
said,
we're friends,
and just bleep all this, just bleep all of this I'm saying, and then stop right here. So if I said that, you'd bleep that.
Asshole. Make me do work.
Yes. Okay, moving on to the next story. Brett, you like a little bit of Harry Potter?
It's okay. Grew up watching the movies, reading the books. Probably the first book series I read. I'll say that.
Yeah, probably. Oh no, yeah. I think that was the book I transitioned from having it read to me to reading it myself.
Yeah, see, that's kind of what I did as well. Like the first few, my mum was reading them to me. Then eventually throughout, then we'd read them together. And then just by the last one, I remember just sitting at home reading it by myself. On my
the last two I read in like 2 days. Just like locked myself in my room and just.
Oh Jesus!
Oh, man, I could obliterate a book back in the day. I need to get that skill back.
I've never been that fast of a reader. I think sometimes I have to stop and I have to process something, or sometimes I have to read something over a second time, you know? I'm not just one person just like some people can.
Yeah,
that sound is the sound of people reading fast, by the way.
Yeah. I used to be able to obliterate a book, but now it's just like, if I read a book, I can read like relatively fast, but it's not like how I used to be, man. I've lost that skill. Bloody Netflix. And
about to say
it's
it's the internet and all this, you know, visual media that does this to us. I don't think either of us read as much as we used to. I don't think anyone in our generation reads as much as they used to.
But you know who still reads? Wizards. And if you're in America,
read those spells and shit.
You probably would have gone to Ilvermorny School. So that's what they have released on Pottermore, is a promo for Ilvermorny. It's the American Wizarding and School of Wizarding and Witchcraft.
Yeah. I was debating whether to put this story in the trailers or in this part, but I thought I'll put it here because it's not exactly a trailer.
No, it's more like a promotional kind of thing. So, have you got like a list of what the houses are? Because I've forgotten.
Shit, I don't.
I think one's like Pudgewick.
Yeah, they're all weird to say. Like, if you think about it, the original houses are pretty weird to say. We're just so used to all of them. So these ones probably
Ravenclaw, Hufflepuff.
Have you ever done like a sorting hat
Slytherin.
quiz? I'm pretty sure we all have.
Oh yeah, Slytherin, mate.
You're a Slytherin.
Straight up Slytherin.
I'm a Ravenclaw.
Good for you,
At least I'm not a Hufflepuff.
Mr. Smarty Pants. That's true. I would have picked you as Hufflepuff. So good on you.
It's a long time ago I did it. Maybe if I did it again, I'd be a Hufflepuff. Okay, I'm googling.
I was straight
now.
up Slytherin. I'm not.
So you're a straight up asshole with poor intentions.
I didn't think I had poor intentions. I thought I'd be in Gryffindor because you figure you're a good person, but then the internet tells you no, you're a wizard Nazi. I'm like, oh, cheers, Pottermore.
Everyone thinks they're a good person. Everyone does. Ask Alicia what she is. I'm sure she knows what she is.
Oh, she's probably a Ravenclaw, I'd bet.
Yeah. Here we go. HarryPotter.Wikipedia.
All right, what's that list? Who we got?
Thunderbird, Wampus, Horned
Thunderbird's I go. What?
Yeah, I know. Horned Serpent and Puckwidge?
Puckwidgey or Puckwidge?
Yeah, something like that.
Horned Serpent just doesn't sound like...
Yes.
I'm in Horned Serpent house. Like, excuse me? What?
Yeah. Yeah, I also have little descriptions here, but I'm not bothering with those.
And some dumb names. J.K. Rowling, step up your game,
Yeah. So they also released some quizzes to sort you into the houses in the new school.
Okay.
But I went to do it. But to do it, I would have had to sign up to the Pottermore website. And I'm like, nah. I don't want those emails.
No.
I'm not that into Harry Potter.
Yeah, not anymore. I mean, I was done. I didn't get why everyone else is still going like, oh, still Harry Potter. I'm like, no, I've read all the books. I've seen all the movies.
I'll probably watch Fantastic Beasts somewhere to find them.
I'll watch that. If it's like, oh, it's not done. All right, I'll watch this one. And then it's done. Then I could stop again. I could just stop caring.
I think it's just a fact of J.K. Rowling not wanting to let go as much as the fans don't want to let go. That's why she keeps writing these
just
short...
keeps saying stupid shit. Like she'll come out like people saying like, oh, actually, Albus Dumbledore was a cat. And it just never came up in conversation. Or like he actually had a brother whose name was Fucky McGee. And he'd go around and he'd just masturbate in the corners, but he was invisible. So you never saw him and he wasn't relevant to Harry's journey. So
just world building. World building, let's call it.
But that's the power she has over people. She can just say some fucked up like random shit and say, it's canon. It happened.
Well, she still writes these short stories for the Pottermore website all the time. Like with the Ilvermorny promo, it's also a short story that she's written on the website with a whole explanation about the origins of the house. I mean, not the house, the school.
I can't be bothered to go and read that. I don't care anymore.
See, I skimmed through it. By skimmed, I mean I scrolled through the whole page. I was just like, that looks like a half an hour read. Do I want to give half an hour of my life to that? Probably not.
Nah, I'll be right.
But
so that if you care about that, go on to Pottermore. Give it a look through.
Tell us what house you got sorted into if you're you do
Speaking
that.
of things no one cared about or asked for, Tetris.
There's a Tetris movie.
So, which studio is this that's trying to do this?
I don't remember the studio, but I remember the producer. It's the same producer responsible for the Mortal Kombat movies.
Oh, good. That it's going to be a quality film then. That's
yes.
Actually, up until like Warcraft and Prince of Persia, those were the good video game movies. So that's real sad.
Yeah.
How do you make a Tetris movie? What? How? Is it like about? Is it about like the people who made Tetris? Is it about that? Is it like a social network kind of thing?
From what I hear, it is unexpected, and it is a sci-fi extravaganza. That's what the producer says.
This is gonna be some battleship bullshit
Yeah.
all over again.
And you know what's even better?
Mhm.
The cherry on the top?
Yep.
They say it's a fucking trilogy.
Just make one good one first, and then worry about trying to make some other good ones. Like everyone forgets
that's not how the movie industry works anymore, Aiden. Everyone has to have the new Avengers, so you have to have a 10-movie plan to be successful.
No. See, everyone forgets that like Marvel, that they had a plan, but if Iron Man wasn't good or if Incredible Hulk wasn't good, they would have cucked it. They would have said, "Oh, we'll have to rearrange this and do this all over again." They started one movie at a time. They told a 3-act story, and then they tried to expand. Like they got a little bit muddled halfway through, but they're getting back to like, no, we'll tell a full story in one film. People forget that. They think like, no, they saw the Avengers and go like, oh, we'll just skip straight to that one. Like, no,
No, you can't. You
Calm
can't.
the
You
fuck
have to
down.
start at your
You can't
Iron Man.
that's like 7 films in. Calm down. First off, just make a story.
Yeah.
Make a good story and tell that. Don't be like, we're going to do a trilogy about Tetris.
Yeah. See,
How?
like what you do is you leave the door just a crack open in case it's good enough that you can get a sequel, but you don't make it thinking I'm only going to tell half the story in this. Because
All right.
literally the article I read said
Yeah.
the producer thinks that the story is too big for one movie. So I'm like, not how you do it.
All right. Pitch
So-
me your Tetris movie. How would you do it?
Oh, I think all the Tetris blocks are alien spaceships.
Yeah. All right.
And they have to assemble themselves in such an order that when they're all in a line, it releases a burst of their weapon. So like clearing a line is their weapon firing.
Okay.
I don't
And
know.
who stars in this? Who stars in your Tetris movie?
Sigourney Weaver.
All right.
That's for starters. Jennifer Lawrence, because what isn't she in?
Okay.
And
May I make a suggestion?
I was gonna say
Mark
Whoopi-
Wahlberg.
Mark Wahlberg and Whoopi Goldberg.
Okay. All right.
What about you? What's your Tetris
That's a
movie,
very
Aiden?
female strong movie. Got some people call it. Good on you. That's a very progressive casting. All right. My pitch for the Tetris movie. So, it's the guys who did the Lego movie. It's Phil Lord and Chris Miller. It's an animated movie, and each of the Tetris pieces, they've each got like a different personality. So like the red one's real angry, and like the blue one is kind of like real like kind of sad and chill, and then the yellow one's like real happy, and like each like different one is kind of like ooh, and it's kind of like a mixture between the Lego movie and Inside Out and Angry Birds, and it's yeah. I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that, but that's
Yeah. So you did the same as I did. I started something like, I don't know how to finish this. See, this movie, the idea is obviously coming off of the success of something like the Lego movie. Because the
Pretty
Lego
much.
movie, they've taken something that exists as a physical toy,
Mm.
turned it into a movie. So they're
just-
obviously going from that.
Like- you like on the one hand, yeah, there's no real story to Tetris, so you could do anything and call it Tetris and like rake in on that brand name kind of recognition. But on the other hand, there's no story to Tetris. How do you tell a Tetris story when there isn't one? It's like such like a daunting idea. Like it's like trying to take like, okay, here's a game of Jenga, a stacking game, turn that into a movie. It's fucking like why? How?
yeah, it's
Impossible.
It's like
At least Lego has like a rich kind of lore and stuff. Like they could pull in stuff like Batman and Star Wars.
See, that's
And-
why Lego worked, is because you have Lego Star Wars, you have Lego Batman, you have Lego everything. There's Lego every brand.
Yeah,
So
and you can
it
bring
makes
that
sense
all
you can
in
do that,
as like
as long as you get the licensing.
yeah, you can make it into like a parody of all these different characters. And like, the way that Phil Lord and Chris Miller did it is like, this is real clever. This is great. They found a way to tell like a really concise, clever little story. But you can't do that for Tetris. It's not the same thing. I don't understand.
Well, especially for something without characters.
No.
Like, at least...
Like no one's
Angry
going to be
Birds.
going like, whoa, there's that 4-block line. That's my favorite Tetris piece.
Exactly.
You go, boy.
And it's like, they made an Angry Birds movie, which I didn't see, but apparently it went pretty well. Which,
I didn't see it either because I was just like, no, thank you.
Apparently, yeah, I'm the exact same. I played Angry Birds for maybe like 2 weeks. That's 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I was done.
Like, I get... But even that has like more story because got
I
like a
get
kind
how
of a
you
story
make
to
Angry
that.
Birds.
Like it's mostly just like a physics kind of puzzle game thing. But it's got like recognizable. Oh, it's that red bird. Oh, it's the yellow one. Or it's the black one that explodes.
Yeah.
And you can recognize like there's good guys and there's villains and there's like within that kind of small like little thing there's a story. Tetris has no story.
It's not a story.
Bricks on top of each other. It's
this is gonna be funny though. Like I kind of want to see it just to see what it is. If you feel my drift.
What if it's like a horror movie and it's like this guy is like cutting people up into like blocks and then putting them on top of each other,
like a slasher movie.
And so like when there's a line, that's like just the body's decomposing and going down a level.
Yeah, that's just the and the straight blocks are the torsos, the bent ones are the bent ones are the legs.
You could do anything. You could. It's ridiculous. All right, what? Good luck to them. Yeah, I'm actually kind of interested to see what they do now because this is such a stupid idea that I'm like, go on, fucking make a Tetris movie.
It's certainly ambitious.
Yeah.
And if nothing else, it's given us a funny little segment. So win-win.
Yeah. All right. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. We both care for that show.
Yes, I'm still not caught up on it. I care for the show, but it's one of those shows where I'll binge watch it. Then I'll just forget about it. Even I'll know it's airing again, but I'm like, yeah, I'll get to it. Then when I get to it, I'll binge watch it again. That's what it is for me.
Yeah. So they've announced that season 4 will appear September 20th.
Ooh, September 20th. That's like 3 months away?
Yeah, that's not that far.
Yeah,
it's got a new
I got to get my catch up on.
I think it's got a new time slot, so it's 10 p.m. So it's going to be a little bit darker than it was before. So hopefully we're going to see a little bit a darker, maybe leaning more towards kind of a Netflix style Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. season. So that could be good.
On ABC though.
Hey, was it NBC that they did Hannibal? So
yeah,
and that shows
they canceled that after like 2 seasons, though, didn't they?
They gave it 3 seasons.
3 seasons.
Yeah.
Forgive me.
And was for NBC that was crazy. Like that show was the most like kind of beautiful, horrific, kind of violent thing I'd ever seen on screen. So they could do something.
I think the network that really stands out for its dark stuff, I think FX, because FX has both American Horror Story and The Walking Dead, which are both like pretty dark shows. So,
but I think those are like cable networks. I think.
I don't get how American TV networks work.
It's the what is it? It's ABC, NBC, CBS, CW, and maybe Fox. I think network TV channels, and then things like FX Showcase or Showtime,
HBO.
And, HBO are all like premium cable channels.
So they're like our Foxtel.
Yeah, like Foxtel.
But presumably not as shit.
Yeah, at least that's how I understand it. I could be wrong.
Yeah,
like
we're not
anything
Americans.
that looks kind of cheap and bright is network television.
That makes a lot of sense when thinking about Arrow and Flash.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense.
Alrighty. So yeah, that's their premiere date. It's a little bit earlier.
Yeah, didn't it only just
CW
finish
stuff?
like a month or so ago?
Yeah, but
I guess it is one of those shows with like 24 episode seasons.
That's around that time of year that we get new seasons start up in the fall. Is usually when we get like all these kind of new shows come back. So in October, we'll get all our CW shows will be coming back.
See, it's American summer now, so there's no shows airing.
No, like this is the time to catch up on things on Netflix. But Netflix is actually like dumping a bunch of stuff in July. So Netflix, it understands. It's like, oh, there's nothing on TV. We got you covered, bruh. Season 2 of Marco Polo, Stranger Things, a new Jim Jeffries special. We got you.
Oh
Boo.
yeah, the new Jim Jeffries special's coming out. I remember.
Yeah,
seeing a
man,
trailer
comes
for
out
that.
tomorrow. I'm fucking
Oh,
keen.
I'm keen.
That's in our recommendations. A little early preview for that.
Yeah, Jim Jeffries is probably the best Australian comic out there.
Oh,
Putting
yeah.
it out, like especially internationally.
Yes, he's real good.
Frick, I had one more point to make, but it slipped out of my head.
All right, well, we'll move on to this next story because it's also a Marvel story. There's rumors right now. They just take this.
Let's emphasize it. Rumors. People are talking about it, but with what it is, even a slightest rumor, people lose their freaking minds.
Is that Marvel and Fox are in negotiations right now to kind of do something similar to what Sony did. Now, this isn't something, if this is happening, it's not something that's going to happen straight away.
No.
This is something like down the line, maybe they will consider.
Like
there's
after
lots
Infinity Wars. This wouldn't be able to happen until at least after Infinity Wars.
Pretty much. So I think there's, because there was a lot of talk from the Deadpool guys. They wanted Deadpool to kind of interact with Spider-Man because the Deadpool Spider-Man crossover comic at the moment is real popular. So, and I think that the current issue of that is actually getting a lot of buzz because it was written by Scott Ackerman, who does Comedy Bang Bang. So it's very funny, this current issue. So I'm looking forward to reading that, actually.
Aren't people saying like they want freaking Deadpool and Spider-Man to like hook up? Because Deadpool's like bisexual, isn't he?
No, don't listen to those people. That's just Tumblr going like, everyone should be fucking all the time. You there, Catwoman, you should have sex with that tree. Yes. Non-gender. Yeah.
You remember that whole thing that everyone's like, make Captain America gay?
Like, don't listen to those people. Like, they're just too horny for their own good, and they don't go outside enough. They need some vitamin
Deadpool
D.
Could be bisexual though. I feel like if any superhero is bisexual,
Look,
it's
I'm
Deadpool.
not questioning whether this fictional character is or isn't bisexual. I'm saying, just calm down with saying these people should all be having sex. You know, calm down a little bit.
I've never once looked at two fictional characters and said anything like "I ship it" or whatever.
No, that's not how I enjoy media. I don't sit there and hope that these two people will bang. I sit there and hope that I'll get a good story. But that's just me. Sipping my tea.
If two characters I like start
Stay
dating
close
each
to
other,
heart.
then I'll be like, yeah, I like that.
Mm.
But I'll never be like one of those people on the internet with like torches and pitchforks, like me, being like, make them hook up.
Those people scare me.
Then like when Beth died in The Walking Dead, everyone was like, no, Bethel died. Like Beth and Daryl were never going
Yeah.
together.
It's like, no, now they can never bang. And it's just like, that's why you're sad? Get out of here. Get right the fuck out. Oh my God.
Daryl's gonna get with Carol, goddammit.
You shut up as well.
Did Alicia just say something?
No. Don't worry about that.
I'm worrying about it. I want to know. Oh,
no. Okay. So yeah, this is a rumor at this stage. It could mean anything. It could mean nothing. Speculate away, pretty much.
Yeah. It would be pretty cool. We could get some cool storylines, getting the X-Men and Deadpool in with all our Marvel buddies.
Or if they could somehow retcon the Fantastic Four to be in there so that they did like some stuff in the 60s, or even if they come from like an alternate universe where they're like a crazy 60s team that like travels through time to now, that would be neat.
Yeah. That aren't the shit Fan Four stick we had.
Just like a new, like a real one.
A real Fantastic Four, yep.
I think there's Nick Mason from the Weekly Planet. He often talks about what he wants to see. Yeah, shout out to him. He often talks about the thing that he wants to see is that he wants to get Marvel to get the rights back to the Fantastic Four, but also for Fox to still have them, so that every year we get a good Fantastic Four movie and also a really terrible one.
I guess
so you get the best of both worlds.
I guess that would make the Marvel ones feel all the better.
Because you're like, if even for like a moment you're like, I don't know, this could have been better, and then you see the really worst one, it's like, oh no, that was fine. It was
no complaints.
Oh my God, so good. It could have been so much worse.
Moving on, Aiden, who would you say has one of the best voices in Hollywood or the world?
I would say it is Mufasa, James L. Jones.
Yes. And what is one of his iconic voice acting roles?
Darth Vader.
Yes, because you totally didn't know what answers to answer the questions. The run
No.
sheet. No.
No.
Totally out of the blue. And
The
coincidence.
sheet that's running. Get out of here. No.
And a coincidence because Darth Vader is confirmed to be in Star Wars Rogue One. And to add on top of that, it is confirmed that James Earl Jones will be reprising his role as the voice of Darth Vader. Oh, yes.
I'm definitely okay with this. I think I've heard a little bit about this. He's not going to be in all of the film, which is fine. He doesn't need to be in it that much, but he is going to make like a significant appearance. So what I'm hoping for is just like a scene where he just decimates a bunch of rebels and just like cuts them down.
Just one good scene. All I'm asking for, one good
Like
scene.
if he like comes in kind of like a horror movie character where like they're all kind of like worried, like, come on guys, it's going to be a piece of cake. And they open a door and then Darth Vader's there and he just like fucking force pushes them all down or like grabs one and uses him as like a human shield as they fire their blasters at him.
Yes.
And it's just like cutting people down, walking like kind of just methodically, just like, no, this is nothing.
Yes.
That would be amazing. I would watch.
You've thought about this.
I have, because Darth Vader currently in like the Marvel comic books where he shows up is just so badass. So I wanna see that kind of badass Darth Vader on screen.
Yeah, well, we don't. We know what the story's about, but we don't know a lot about what any of these characters are doing yet. So maybe there'll be a lot of him. Maybe there won't be. Maybe he'll be a badass. Maybe he'll just be one talking scene. We don't know.
As long as I hear some James Earl Jones and that little bit of that breathing, that.
Yeah. Did you also hear the talk that they're undecided currently if the Rogue One's going to have the text crawl?
Oh, I wouldn't mind seeing a film without the text scroll.
I mean, I thought about it, and at first I was like, no, it has to have the text crawl. But then I thought about it some more, and I'm like, doesn't really have to.
I think it would help, like, differentiate it from, like, the main stories. Because, like, the main stories could have the text scrolls, and then a Star Wars story could just be, like, shot like a normal film, but in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah, true. And I guess it might help some people who aren't understanding the concept of this movie. Like, I've talked to a couple of people, and I've tried to explain what this movie's about. But they're like, wait, what? I'm like, it's the rebels stole the plan for Death Star. But I don't know. Some people are having a hard time grasping the concept. Have you found that?
I don't talk to those people. I don't waste my time. That ain't me. Like, I talk to like you and like Jesse, who's just like, Rogue One, Star Wars, Star Wars. What? You Star Wars?
Yes. I have a job where I work with non-nerds.
See.
And so whenever they have anything nerdy, they heard anything nerdy, they're like, hey, Brett's a nerd, let's bring it up to Brett.
Brett, have you heard about this? Yes.
Yes.
What about yes?
Yes.
But I bet you haven't. Yes. How do you know? This is all I think about.
This is all I think about. I
come here, I tell you to make a pizza, I go home, and I think about all this.
Pretty much.
That's it.
To put this in comparison, I was talking to my boss on Tuesday about, we were talking about movies and stuff. I'm like, she's not bad. She loves this. She loves the Lord of the Rings, so A+ there.
It's always good in my book.
We're talking about Star Wars, and she said she saw the original trilogy when she was a kid and stopped. I'm like, I can forgive you for not watching the prequels.
But what do you mean you didn't watch them again?
Yeah, she's never rewatched Star Wars. And she refuses to see The Force Awakens.
Why?
Because she says, the story is done. I don't need it anymore. The story has been told. I'm like, but there's more.
The story hasn't even started yet. There's so much.
Like, we're in an entire freaking galaxy. How can you think that this is the end of the story? It's not how it happens. You don't defeat one person, then nothing interesting ever happens in the galaxy again.
I kind of understand that attitude, because that is me with like the Harry Potter stuff.
By the way, Nat, if you are listening, yes, offense intended.
Throwing that shade.
Yes, throwing mad shade. Like, she doesn't fucking listen, but if she is, throwing mad shade.
Shout out one time. All right, that is the that's all our stories. Let's get into some of these trailers. Now, Brett, I didn't see one of them, Ouija Origin, so we're gonna do a live reaction.
We're gonna do another live reaction.
Because I forgot to watch this, so I didn't see the first Ouija movie. Or is it Ouija?
Wait, is there a first one?
Yeah, there's a first one.
I
It
didn't
was
know
real
there
dumb.
a first one.
All I saw was
this
bad reviews.
I just saw this listed on screen random, like, yeah, that's something we can talk about.
All right, so what's it called?
Ouija Origin of Evil.
All right,
I did
Ouija.
not realize it was a sequel. From what I see, it looks like something you can watch without seeing the first one.
Okay, yeah, probably. All of these horror movies are the goddamn same. Ouija.
That's why I wanted to talk about this one, because I'm like, oh, let's throw some shade.
Okay, Ouija Origin of Evil. Let's see what I think. of
Live
this.
reaction.
All right, so okay.
I told you there was a jump scare in the first 3 seconds.
All right, so that just scares you right at the top. Okay, so it's a bunch of ladies. They're sitting around a table. Got some candles. I wonder what scent they are. It's probably a jasmine, a lavender. Oh, okay.
I imagine it would have been ocean.
Oh, there's a
breeze.
spooky man. They've been spooked. It's the 60s? Oh, it's the... Oh, okay. She's a con artist.
Yep, it's all a ruse.
Ah, a ruse. Okay, I like it. I'm down for a ruse.
A well-constructed ruse.
Okay. Oh. Oh. Okay, now something real might happen.
Yeah, something real. Ooh. Freaking little girls, I
Ooh.
tell you, man.
Tiny little children. Oh. Oh, she's been spooked. Her mouth's all opened up. Okay, it's happening in Halloween.
Oh. You gotta see a good horror movie on Halloween.
Yeah.
Whether this is that movie, to be decided.
Well, it's not Saw anymore, and I guess The Purge is happening a little bit early because it's an election year, so they've made it election themed.
Oh, God.
Okay, so she's got that fucking creepy ass look on her face. She's staring people down. Oh, what? Okay, so a little
You're
boy was
basically
going
having-
to shoot her with a slingshot, and then she's looked at him, and he's pointed it back at himself and shot himself in the face. Oh, okay, and now
What I
this
loved
lady...
about it is they made like a big deal of it, like he was fucking about to kill himself. Like, it's a slingshot, he'll maybe get a bruise.
Oh, there's just so much like CG, like really bad CG.
I know.
Oh, and she's Spider-Man. She was climbing up all
Yeah,
like Spider-Man.
climb wall.
Is this how Spider-Man got his powers, from a Ouija board?
Probably.
Oh, and there's a happy 60s song to kind of contrast. Okay. And she's whispering in someone's ear. There's a bald guy. All right. Looks like a very CGI heavy movie. It could be better than the first one. The first one was pretty dumb, as far as I know.
Let's just say this. Fuck little girls in horror movies. Holy fucking shit.
Get out of here. None of that.
Like, the worst thing I am with horror movies is fucking little possessed kids, girls especially. Because boys are always little shits. Little boys are always little shits. But then when you get a little girl it's like possessed, you're like, fuck that noise, fuck this, fuck all of you, I'm fucking out of here.
No children in horror movies. No, thank you. None of that. Because either you get like they're possessed by Satan, or they're possessed by demons, or they're like children of the corn, where they're eating people or sacrificing adults. I don't know what they were doing, but none of that. No, thank you.
I don't know what they were doing, but I wasn't having any of it.
None of it. Oh, epic rap battle are doing a Bruce Banner versus Bruce Jenner. Ooh.
Oh, Battle of the Bruces. Are you just looking through his YouTube subs?
No, it was just like the recommended for me. I'll have to watch that later. That's in my recommendations.
Yeah.
In podcast and in YouTube. Alrighty. Okay.
So what did you think of that trailer?
It was better than I expected. Because I love a good time period, kind of period piece. And the 60s is great.
Always good.
And I like the first Conjuring. I think that was also a period piece. So
I will admit, some of the scares, they fucking got me. And I could hear from your reaction, the first one, that's like
First
3
one got
seconds
me
in.
because they're like it's straight up just like this. Someone shoving their hand down a little girl's throat, and like already I'm like, okay, that's not okay. Bad touch. Bad touch, straight up.
I think they knew that because like you kind of expect a little suspense building, then some jump scares, but it's like you get 1 second to come in and fuck a jump scare.
And I do like a good con. Like
Yes.
I like
a
that.
ruse. I love a ruse.
a ruse. Oh, good ruse is just très magnifique. It's got that je ne sais quoi.
Yes. So, maybe it'll be good, but it does. A lot of things look very like stock standard possession movie.
Look, it was probably made real cheap. Like I'm guessing a budget of 10 to 25 million, and then it's gonna earn like 40 on its first weekend, and it'll be fine. Because that's how you make horror movie these days. You make it real cheap, and then you'll earn big at the box office, and it doesn't matter if you only earn like 40 or 50,000, because you've got all your money. You've made bank. You've done good.
Yeah. So that's a good theory, I've never thought about it, but that is what they do.
That's what they do. Like all of these, like around like October, you'll get a really kind of bunch of cheap looking horror movies that are only made for like 2 to 10 or 25 million at the most.
I don't think anyone involved in the project really had that much passion about it.
No, because it's full of people you don't know who they are. Like the only one who has like name stars in it is The Conjuring, maybe. I guess the what was that one? What was a remake? Poltergeist had Sam Rockwell, but that's about it. Like they'll have like 1 or 2 stars, and they'll be working to scale, and it's just like real cheap. So
yeah. So let's talk about a drama that's came out now. Well,
Yeah.
a trailer for a drama.
okay, so this is
Let's talk about Tom Hanks.
I love a bit of Tom Hanks in a film. Like
Yeah.
every
when
time
did
I've
he
been,
start doing good things again? God damn.
Bridge of Spies was real good.
Yeah.
And
he's having a real renaissance lately.
every
he's-
film he's Captain Phillips. Oh man, that was good as well.
Yeah. So he's having a comeback.
And it's not that he's doing anything really different in any film. It's just like every time he's there, I think like, oh, Tom Hanks, and then I'm sucked into the character, and before I know it, I'm just like, wow, what an amazing character, what an amazing performance by Tom Hanks when he's literally done the same thing in every film, but is just so good at it that I'm like,
Yeah.
he give him an
he's
Oscar.
good at
He did it again. He was
Yeah.
Tom Hanks again. Oh,
So this movie that we're talking about now, it is called Sully, and it is based on a true story of.
do you remember this?
No, I don't. I had to look it up the case.
I think I remember. I think they talk about it like every couple of years when like talking about like plane fatalities.
Okay, to be honest, when I looked up the actual guy, I did recognize his face. So I must have seen him before, because I definitely recognize his face. So it's about a pilot, like, he was, I think it was 25,000 feet off the ground when both the engines on his plane went off, and he had to do a water landing. And apparently that was like the lowest altitude water landing any pilot had ever had to do. And he did it in the New York River, and not a single person died.
The Hudson.
The Hudson.
Yeah.
It's a river in New York. So I was right.
Yeah, I was just adding information to your correctness.
Yes. Thank you for correcting my correctness.
Yeah,
But,
you're welcome.
yeah. So it's a true story of that, and like the media thing that followed, and the inquiry and the case.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, then this is the true story. I guess, well, true being it's a fictionalized movie, but
Yeah. Oh, obviously not every single line that's said will be true, but
No,
it's based,
but
because he wrote
based on something that happened.
He wrote a biography,
Mm.
and it's based on that biography.
Oh yeah,
So
I do. There was
So
some,
it's a movie on a book on someone's life.
yeah. So it looks like it's going to be interesting. It seems like he's trying to. They probably brought in information outside of the book to try to like kind of counterbalance and try to like, is he a hero? Isn't he a hero? What did he do the right thing?
Yeah, you got to add some like cinematic drama.
Yeah. So no, it looks like an interesting film. Do you know who's directing it? Oh, it's Clint Eastwood, isn't it?
Yeah, Clint Eastwood.
I do enjoy a good Clint Eastwood film. Like, not everything he does is great recently, because like he's got a few hit or misses here and there.
Yeah.
But like American Sniper, I didn't see it, but I heard it was real good. The last real good one I saw from him was Gran Torino, and I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
So
this is looking like it could be good. Like the trailer got me feeling things, and that's what dramas are meant to do. It's meant to make you feel things. So
No, I'm
Who
looking
knows?
forward
Maybe
to
this will be one of the Oscar contenders we see. Because those
Hopefully.
dramas are always up in the Oscars.
it. Hopefully. It's the Oscars. They love a Clint Eastwood film. Clint Eastwood is like he's up there
Yeah.
for them.
We're
love
calling it at the trailer. This is going to be at least nominated for an Oscar.
Probably. All right. So next up, and finally, before we go into our recommendations, and then sadly say farewell, is the trailer for Morgan. This is
Yes. We talked
from
about the...
Scott Free Productions.
Yes, produced by Ridley Scott.
Mm.
And it is a continuation... Not a continuation. This is a full trailer. A few weeks ago, we talked about the teaser trailer. That's what I was trying to say.
That was the one that had that da-da-da kind of weird
and
sound in it.
Neither of us understood what that teaser trailer was about, really. Like, we were trying
No
to
idea.
comprehend
It's it's about a thing in a bunker with scientists.
See, this trailer has fully explained it.
Mm.
They've created artificial life.
Mm.
That's what Morgan is, artificial life. But
Which apparently means it has psychic abilities.
yeah, apparently has psychic abilities.
Mm.
But she flipped out one day and stabbed some bitch in the eye.
Mm.
And the German scientist from Captain America's there.
I think that was
Ygritte from Game of Thrones is there.
the lady
Kate
she
Mara is
stabbed in
there.
the eye. I think that's I forget her name, but she's Senator Finch in Batman v Superman and the voice of Elastigirl in The Incredibles.
There you go.
I think that was her.
Yeah.
I could be mistaken.
And freaking when I saw Rose Leslie or Ygritte, is that how you say it, from Game of Thrones, I was like, yes! I just want to hear her tell people they know nothing all the time.
Just going up to Morgan, you know nothing.
Yes, like, you don't get another role. That is your line forever. Seems like Kate Mara is some sort of government agent of some sort
Yeah, it
sent
seems
in to do some investigations after Morgan stabbed a bitch in the eye.
It's got a good cast. That's like
Yeah, it's got a good cast.
I'm keen to see it.
It seems like the story could be something that's good if they do it well.
It
See,
could be like it's reminding me a lot of Ex Machina and Splice because we've had like
Yeah.
a few kind of like
Splice was really bad though, wasn't it? I saw how badly it was rated and decided let's not watch
some
that.
people really liked it, some people didn't. It was contentious, I think, because like it had a few scenes in there that people were like, "What the fuck is
didn't it
this?"
have like one weirdly popular actor in it?
Adrian Brody.
Think. Yeah, because
Yeah.
I remember it was like a cast of nobodies and like one known actor.
Yeah, I think you're talking about Adrian Brody.
Yeah.
But no, this
But
one
yeah.
looks like it could be good. It's from Ridley Scott's son. Is that?
Yeah, Ridley Scott's son is directing it and Ridley
Okay.
Scott is producing it.
Alrighty, neat.
So look up the trailer, see what you think. Don't let us tell you what you think.
All right, so that's our final trailer. So that's was run out of time, except for recommendations. Boys, this is where we talk about what we've seen and what we're gonna see in the future. Mostly, I wanted to get into this story because Brett, the BVS Batman v Superman Ultimate Cut came out.
Yes, you watched that. What
I
did you
did.
think?
I watched it at midnight. It took me 3 hours, but I did it.
Okay.
It's a 3 hour movie. It adds a lot more in. So like, it's weird because on the one hand, I think I like it more because a lot of the plot stuff that was taken out is like makes the plot make way more sense. So like Luthor's story makes way more sense right up until you get back to Doomsday. Like that's still the part where I'm like, yeah, but why did he do that though? Like
So it still
everything else
doesn't
I
make
get.
sense why you're releasing Doomsday.
Like Clark Kent gets a lot more screen time. Like he's actually like going out into Gotham and doing some reporting and like investigating stuff. That it makes him so much more interesting. They add a lot more with like Bruce, not a lot more, but like a bit more with Bruce and Alfred. There's a little bit more with Wonder Woman. The fight scenes, there's a bit more with that. A lot more investigating from Lois Lane. So it's like a lot of the plot stuff that like makes the story make sense. That was all the stuff that got cut out. Like the little bit of a fight scene here and there, but mostly it's just like there was one F word I think that got cut out, and there's a scene where someone gets shot
swearing.
and there's like a blood splatter, and like that's probably what got like an R rating. But like, yeah. So I'll talk about the things that like they added that made it make more sense. So you know at the start where they're in Africa, and like you're wondering like why are they blaming Superman? Everyone's just shot up. That makes no sense. Turns out they burned all the bodies, so that's why. So it looks like Superman kind of heat visioned things.
Oh, so they kind of tried to frame him.
Yeah, and that African lady who was talking in the Senate, like, he did all this and he ruined my village. Like, she was an actor hired by Lex Luthor. So
that makes more sense as well.
Yeah, and then you have all these like different scenes of like KG Beast going around and like paying people off. So also that thing, you know how like they were saying like the Bat brand for people in prison means that they die. Like a Bat brand is a death sentence.
Yeah.
That works out because Lex Luthor is paying people, whoever gets branded by the Bat, he pays people to stab them in prison.
Oh,
so like it's not that he's, the Bat brand is actually like a brand of like, oh, they'll die in prison. It's like people are getting paid off to stab people who are branded with the Bat signal.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's more.
Does it explain why Batman uses guns?
It doesn't quite explain that, no. Like things that are still like in the movie, they still happen, but like a lot of like the little like kind of niggling questions of like why was that person doing this, or like, where's like the explanation for this? That stuff is put back in. So like the first and second half are made better. I'll say that. So like the parts that I liked are made better. The part that I didn't like is still kind of dumb. It turns out that like Bruce Wayne paid for Clark Kent's funeral.
Okay.
And I don't know, it's just they add in like little things, and like overall I think it flows better. It's a more interesting film. It still has a lot of the same problems I had with it the first time I watched it, but it is technically better. And I can see how like if I'd watched this first, I wouldn't have had such a bad reaction to it, I think. So it's the better version of it, but it's still not good. But it gives me a little bit more faith for Justice League if they can just like let that script breathe and have more fun with it. I feel like it could still be good.
And resurrect Superman and get someone other than Zack Snyder to write for him. Oh, direct.
But it's still it's good. It's
so you would recommend watching it?
If you really hated Batman v Superman, no, just don't waste your time. But if you were kind of like disappointed and still very interested in this kind of world and these characters, it's not that bad. It adds more. The story flows better. Even though it's kind of longer, it feels like a more fleshed out world.
Nice.
Like Gotham felt more like a place. Like they added in another bit, like True. How they were talking about Clark Kent having to cover the football game. They add in a bit of footage of that. So there's just more in it that makes it feel like a fleshed out world. There are some scenes that like definitely should have been cut down a little bit. Like there's a scene where like that police officer is trying to find that guy who Batman's torturing. That scene goes on a bit too long. And there are other little scenes here and there that are like, this is a little too long. But a lot of what they add is like, this is good stuff. Like, you should have kept this in. This explains the story. I don't know why you cut it out. So, yeah. Also, awesome. Jena Malone, she's no one in the film. She's just like a Star Labs tech assistant. She's not Barbara Gordon.
Good.
She's not like anything that like people are like, oh, she's this or she's Oracle. It's like, no, she's nobody.
Just pretty much an extra.
And they say Jimmy Olsen's name in the film this time. So, well, like before, it's kind of ambiguous. Where like, oh, that guy that got shot, that was Jimmy Olsen. In this cut, it's like, hi, I'm Jimmy Olsen. But
okay.
And he gets like a little bit, few more lines, so you feel something when he gets shot. Not too much because you just met him, but like he feels more like a character before he's just like somebody, and then he gets shot. So it's. The people who benefit most from it, Lex Luthor, his plan makes more sense. His performance is still kind of all over the place, but
does it fix Jesse Eisenberg's acting, though?
It doesn't fix his acting, but his motivations make more sense. And his plan makes more sense, for the most part. At least when it comes to, like, Batman and
considering his plans and motivations, I've seen the movie and I could not sit here and tell you them right here and now.
No.
That's good.
They make more sense. Senator Finch is a little bit more interesting in this film. Superman comes off way better in this film. Like, after like the building explodes, he's actually like helping people out of the building and like it's until like everyone's like safe and with paramedics, then he goes off and leaves. So there's
Rather than just flying away.
no, like he benefits a lot. Like you can actually like see his struggle between like, oh, should I do the right thing? Nobody appreciates me. So like, yeah, he comes across a lot better. I don't know. It's just like, it flows better. It was the better film. If this was the theatrical version, I would have, given it a higher rating probably.
Maybe.
Definitely higher rating.
Yeah, well, as for me, I've been getting back into the world of YouTube watching.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't know. I've just been on a YouTube binge. Specifically, this probably feels like I'm late to the party for you because I know you've been watching his stuff for years now. Philip DeFranco. I've really been getting into his stuff lately.
That's where I get my news. Like it's that
Yeah.
that and the Daily Show is pretty much like that's how I know what's going on in the world.
Yeah. But it's like him and like SourceFed, the companies he started and is still kind of boss for. So I've just been really like binge watching a lot of that stuff. And like, and I know you've been watching it for years, but like I've only just gotten into him. Like he's real funny. He's got love the news stories.
No, it's like my morning news show. I watch his video in the morning and then I'm done. All right, go about my day now.
Yeah. So, and like, just looking at all like the silly source-fed videos they do where they just play games and whatever, I'm like, that looks so much fun.
I want that job
so
bad.
much fun.
Like, I'm so jealous that's like they come into work like, what am I doing today? Well, you're drawing people, and then you'll drink some alcohol, and then you can go home. Like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, exactly. And I told you the other day, I'll say it here as well, I had a fucking dream that somehow this podcast and whatever got really big. Then Philip DeFranco decided, hey, I want to buy you. Like, yes. Yes.
Buy me, Philly D. Buy me.
Buy me.
Alrighty. Is that all your recommendations you got?
Yeah. Oh, I've also been listening to an album from they're a band called Era. They're named after like the Egyptian god of war. Look that up. I don't know how to pronounce it. EII. And I've listened to them for a while, and like they're one of the bands where like when they bring out a new album or whatever, I don't jump straight on it because I'm just like I don't like them that much. But I've been listening to their new album, and I'm digging it. They have a new vocalist, which I think I like this new vocalist better.
Oh yeah.
So they're very, very heavy band. They're kind of like, metalcore-ish, progressive-ish, gent, if you will.
7 strings, tuned down.
Yeah.
Double kicks.
They got some freaking amazing lead
Deep
guitar
V-necks.
lines. No, these guys go for the more like lumberjack look. They like their plaid shirts and whatever.
Neck tattoos or beards? Or both?
Beards.
Beards? Yes. All right.
Yeah, so I don't know, just another album that I'm digging. I've been listening to a lot of the same couple of albums recently because literally 5 bands that I'm a huge fan of have released albums in the last 2 months. So I've been...
Fucking Sum 41 at her doing a new album. I just learnt that today. What year is it? It's the fucking 90s all over again. Fucking...
Better say, is it 1998 again?
Blink-182 are releasing a new album. Sum 41 are releasing a new album. Taking Back Sunday are releasing a new album. What fucking year is it? Where am I?
Yellow Card are breaking up. That's a thing, though. Yellow Card are breaking up.
I guess that kind of dates it, but everything else I'm just like, what? Is it the early 2000s? Is pop punk back? What? Is it back?
Man, pop punk is so back. A Day to Remember are releasing a new album.
They are releasing a new album. God damn. But it's like the origin story, like the rebirth from California is coming back.
Yeah, so because I've showed you 2 of the tracks on Day to Remember's album, and you didn't mind Paranoia. What did you think of Bad Vibrations?
Track, yeah.
Did you listen to Bad Vibrations?
I've listened to a bit of it. Yeah, it's not bad. It's a bit more like their older stuff. I didn't dig it as much as Paranoia, but it's still pretty good.
Yeah, see, I think Paranoia had a lot more of a punkier feel. Like, definitely, like, the drums and the verses of the very, like, the hi-hat snare thing. Like, think of a hi-hat snare punk drum beat, and you know what we're talking about. So that was what Paranoia had in its verses. So.
No, that was real neat. So
That's something that will probably be a recommendation when it comes out, because I've been digging both the tracks they've put out so far.
Oh, and also Jim Jeffries' Freedom special.
Yes, that
I'm going to be
comes out.
watching that tomorrow, definitely.
Yeah, it comes out tomorrow. Next episode, we will tell you
Mm.
our thoughts and opinions on it.
As well as our breakdown of Season 6 of Game of Thrones.
Woo!
Boy.
Ooh,
Boy,
so
that's...
hard not to talk about it now, but let's save it.
All right. Just before we go, we are going to be doing a rebranding.
Yes,
Boy.
yeah, let's
Brett,
announce it
drop
here.
that news. Go talk about it.
So, right now, we have a new logo and whatnot ready to go.
Mhm.
It's real nice.
It's nice, it's classy, luxurious, legit.
Yes. Not going to try and explain it, but
Mm.
we are very happy with this new logo. Shout out to Tristan Tate, who did the designing for us. Check
Shout
out
out
his
one
work.
time.
So check that out. It's great. And so the bigger announcement is that we are going to be uploading videos
Yeah.
every week.
Those will come out Wednesday. They'll be about 3 to 5
Next
minutes long. Little like snippets where we'll give our opinion on a topic or maybe a
Or just-
TV
or
review.
just talk-
Depends,
Yeah. Or
whatever's
just
happening.
talk about something. See, our brand is the pop culture. We're definitely sticking with that.
Mm.
So it's just basically this podcast. No changes are really happening to the podcast. You'll still get hour-ish long podcast every Friday. It's just you will also get 5 to maybe 10-minute videos every Wednesday.
Yeah, boy. So
Yeah.
that's stuff to look forward to. We're gonna keep trying, expanding this podcast and try and bring you as much good content as we physically possibly can. But to know how you like it, what your thoughts are, we need to get your feedback. So how do we get that? Well, go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/PCMR podcast. Go over there, or just look up at PCMR podcast. Yeah, you can find that. You can also find us on Twitter at PCMR podcast. We also have our own personal Twitter accounts. I am at Aiden's Vlog, AIDANSVLOG.
I am at meman125, spelled how it sounds.
Yes.
You can send us an email.
Mhm.
We've been using it lately, mainly to email the new logo art designer.
Oh,
but
yes.
email us anyway. That is pcmrpodcast@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm. If you what you're thinking, oh man, that's too many places to go. That's too hard to. Well, the quickest and easiest way to find all of this is go to pcmrpodcast.net. That's our website. That has all our social media links. That's where you can find all the audio. But if you don't want to go to a goddamn website, I ain't going to a gosh darn website to listen
Who
to you.
uses actual websites anymore?
Well,
God.
you can also find us on YouTube, youtube.com/PCMR podcast, or just look up Pop Culture Master Race or PCMR podcast. You'll find us. Also on iTunes. You can find us there. Subscribe. Then once you click that, it'll just download into your iTunes. It'll be ready to go
It's
for you.
great, so handy.
It'll find you. That's how
Yes,
how good
it'll
is that?
find you.
If
you want us to find you wherever you are.
If you want to help other
What-
people
what are
find
you
it,
doing?
you can give us that 5-star review. A lot of people already have. Keep on helping. It really helps out the podcast. It pushes us up in the ratings, and you be a gosh darn champion. Also, leave us a little review. Let us know what you think. It really helps. It does.
Yes,
It
and
really
we
does.
love reading you.
Mm.
Like you love listening to us. And if that's all too much, you just fucking Google us.
Just Google us, mate. Just
Just
fucking-
Google us.
you'll find us.
You'll find it.
Mm. All right. So until next week, I have been Aiden.
I have been Brett.
And this has been the PCMR podcast, Pop Culture Master Race. We'll see you next time for some Game of Thrones. Until then, farewell.
And we'll see you Wednesday in our first video.
Oh, yes, you will.
Yes, farewell.
Farewell. Goodbye.